What's the purpose of the chain here?
I'll tell you that when I get up.
Right.
It's easier to explain for it now. Now the original building here, Kinnaird Castle, or Fraserburgh Castle, built on Kinnaird Head, was built in 1540.
1540.
And it was built by Alexander Fraser, who was the grandson of the Earl of Forth. The castle, as I say, was built in 1540. The lighthouse took it over in 1786 and established a light on top. That remained like that up until 1820, when they built the present tower. Now, rather than demolish the castle, they built the tower up through the castle, and that's the tower there. Now that goes right from the foundations and goes through the various floors and out the roof. That was built in 1820. This room here would have been the main dining room or the main living room of the castle. Below here is what remains of the kitchens. The staircase that served the castle ran up this corner. You can see the cardboard there. From the outside you can see where the windows are blocked off. When the light was paraffin, you had your paraffin containers for storing the paraffin in, you had your flask for carrying it up, and these brass containers was for measuring it, because in them days you had to measure how much you put in and how much you used.
So that's the container for holding
Yes,
the
well,
paraffin?
there was a whole row of them there, you see, at one time, but just left the one. But they held 90 gallons each, and you had about 10 of them in here. And then by the time you used that, you took the other one down ready for filling again.
So 1.5 of those flasks per night?
Yes, it was about three gallon a night was your, during the winter, less of course during the summer. It's driven by this wake here. This wake on its travel from the top to the bottom keeps the machine going for 30 minutes and then has to be reworked.
Ah, I see, it's like a clock then?
Yes.
I see.
Just light in sunset, sunrise. Every day.
Every day? Summer and winter?
Summer and winter.
Well, that's something I didn't realise. I just automatically thought that you've probably been informed, okay, kind of the weather's like that, just switch it on, but it's actually working sun night. I see.
This is all your sunrises and sunsets for your year. It's all worked out by year.
So actually it's a 7-day
7-day job. Yes, 7-day job.
And how many lighthouse keepers are there?
3.
3. And so obviously you take it in turns?
Take it in turns. I would do watches during the night, 4-hour watches during the night. More watches during the winter as the summer, but you've all the station maintenance as well.
Yeah,
all the painting and grass cutting and the whole lot.
Right.
That all comes into it. So during the winter you're doing more hours at night and less work during the day. During the summer you're doing more work during the day and less night.
Less at night, that's right. But do you look after the machinery here as well?
Oh yes, a lot.
So you've got to be pretty knowledgeable in the mechanics of the
yes,
entire...
I'm electrical, mechanical.
Is that right?
Because if you get breakdowns on some of the more remoter stations, if you get breakdowns during the night, you've sort of to cope with them until you can get assistance from outside, like. So you have to sort of have a bit of knowledge of it, or it's best to have a bit of knowledge about as much as you can. Serves your own purpose, like.
Yes, of course, right. So the thing is that before you actually become a lighthouse keeper, you must actually go through, I suppose, some training first to qualify you, to enable you to be able to repair the equipment.
Well, you normally serve or used to serve a year or so as a supernumerary keeper. Well, that was a trainee keeper, and you went from station to station, picking up different aspects of the job as you went round during your year or year and a half until you got appointed to a station. And that was just the way you picked it up. You got different training at different places.
Yeah.
Light engines, radios, electronics or whatever, so that you could handle a repair if necessary.
Handle for winding up the chain.
Wind handle.
Right. Okay. And the rest of the equipment looks very much like a clock, doesn't it?
Well, the whole thing is, it is clockwork, you see.
It is clockwork.
It is clockwork, just the air governor.
An air governor.
Just the air governor, that's it there. It's the control. It was very important to... All lighthouses around the coast have got different signal, so that each one can be individually identified from the seaward. This one being one flash every 15 seconds. So with that purpose, it is very important that the machinery keeps running to a 30-second revolution of the machine. Now, to do that, we have this device here. Now, when you start your machine at night, you set this hand here to the minute hand on the clock. Now, every half hour, well, that during the night should keep time with the minute hand of the clock.
I see.
If it slows down or speeds up, then we add the slip weights onto the main weight, or remove weights to slow it down.
So
You always get with temperature or such like, you always get a slight fluctuation during the night as I run the machine. So sometimes you'll come up and the thing will be starting to go a wee bit fast. So on the way down you take a weight off.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, add a weight on and set your clock again.
So it's a pretty complex part apparatus, really, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes. It was good for its time. I mean, 1902.
1902 this was installed,
Yes,
and it's still in use today.
Still in use today.
So when it goes fully automatic, and you expect that next year,
Yes.
is it? So all this machinery will be taken away then? What?
No, hopefully it's going to be retained.
I see.
Hopefully it's going to be retained.
Uh-huh.
But, that's still very much in the balance yet, so
Right.
we'll just have to see what happens.
So the automation actually will be just will it be controlled electronically?
Yes, it'll be
I
electric
see.
light.
Ah.
It'll be a purely electric light. Worked on a solar cell,
Yeah, photocell.
photoelectric cell.
So that means there won't be any keepers at all then?
No,
No.
no. Signal here. That's it down there, the foghorn. One blast every minute and a quarter.
And was that controlled from here as well?
From here, from the engine room down here, 2 Kelvins driving compressors. That was made redundant 2 years past November.
And the thing is, were you instructed then when to use it?
We did it on our own initiative, judging visibility below 3.5 miles.
I see.
That was up to the keeper on watch to judge the...
So when was that one built? Was that about 1902 as well?
1902, the foghorn came into operation.
And it's operated by compressed air?
Compressed air from the engines down here and then. Emergency lamp. If we have a power cut during the night, our first line of defence, there's a start-o-matic engine down in the engine room which comes on immediately and keeps the power to the light and the beacon. If that fails, then we have this. Now this is operated off a battery and they give about 15 hours of light, the same signal, 1 second, one flash every 15 seconds, and that will keep a navigation light going for about approximately 15 hours, but purely emergency.
So, what distance does that go
Oh,
out?
that you're down to about 5 miles on that.
5 miles. I suppose still enough really to
Enough, yes.
keep them off the rocks and that.
But they'll be warned by a notice to mariners on 2182 if we're operating that. You see, it'll be a reduced light. It'll go out. Glass cleaning.
To clean the glass. So how often is the glass cleaned?
Polish the lens once a month. Now with the paraffin light, it was done once a week.
Ah, yeah.
But with the electric light being a dry light, we get away with once a month and just dust them down.
So what do you actually clean it with? Are you some special?
Well, it's a glass cleaner. It's Cascade glass cleaner.
Oh, I see. Right.
That's the cleaning agent.
Just a wipe and dry system. Is it?
Yes. One time they used to use methylated spirits, but oh, it leaves them awful greasy.
Is it just for the health itself, or is it actually
No,
for effectiveness?
to save the mess of cigarettes and stubbing out.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Handrails and stuff is done every night.
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
It's
All
beautiful.
you've got to do is
It's beautifully kept. And it's still got porthole type windows.
yes.
Do you know the amount of steps in the lighthouse here? So
72.
72 steps. And the steps seem to be very well kept as well. They're
Well, they're painted on a
painted.
rotation about every 3 years.
Yeah, I see.
A lot of the inside paint is done on a rotation of 3 years. Outside paint, most of it's done every year. The walls being done about every 4 years.
That's amazing.
We just have a routine stuff.
And
Next to be done.
this is like the chain that goes right up into the roof. So the lighthouse is just like a giant clock with a light.
Just
Amazing.
robust and simple and reliable.
That's right.
That's what it had to be. Because some of the places, I mean, you're talking the like of motor engines and that, weren't it?
This is the engine room.
Marine engine, petrol start diesels. They were installed here somewhere in the 1940s.
So previous to that, if this is diesel engines, would it have been the...
It was Crossley, vaporized carbon engine Crossley's.
Uh-huh.
That was in here.
And would there have been steam engines before that?
No,
No.
I think the Crossley engine was the first ones that went in here. One of that blow lamps that's up the stair actually was the original blow lamp that heated the things.
I
like
see.
that. Heated them up and vaporized the paraffin. One big single cylinder.
So this here is for the horn outside, is it?
Horn.
Right.
Yeah, 2 engines running, 1 engine a standby. 2 engines driving compressors, pumping air into these tanks. There's 2 tanks there, there's 2 outside, there's 2 down the side of the foghorn. Now the actual horn operated on a volume of air rather than a pressure of air.
Mm-hmm.
And you blew these up to 25 pound a square inch, and the blast reduced that to 15 pound a square inch. And then you had a minute and a quarter then for the engines to pump it back up again. 7-second blast. 1 7-second blast every minute and a quarter.
Right. So, and this stopped about 2 years ago, didn't it?
2 years past November.
Right. So what takes the place of that now?
Well, it's your DECAS and your NavSats and your electronic navigations.
Aboard the boats themselves?
Aboard the boats, yes.
Oh, I see. So they rely totally on the ships themselves to...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So is this equipment completely redundant now, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. God, I bet it's beautiful, isn't it? And this will be the generator over here,
That's
is it?
Start-O-Matic if we get a power cut.
Oh, I see.
That automatically comes in
Uh-huh.
and gives power for the light.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that fails, that's when we bring that battery one into operation.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
So you have three backups. You see.
Uh-huh. So that is still actually in use
Oh
then?
yes, yes,
Right,
yes,
uh-huh.
yes. Very much so.
Mhm. So who actually service the engines now, the diesel engines here?
We have a set engineers at headquarters in Edinburgh that go round every year, round stations in rotation, and they do the major overhauls of the engines.
Right.
So you get a visit from them once a year,
Mhm.
and they give you the major overhaul. And then if you have a breakdown during the year, you can call them back out if you can't handle it yourself.
Uh-huh. So are they still actually being maintained by these
No,
service
these are
engineers?
not.
No,
No, that's the only one they maintain, and the light machinery.
Right, okay. Uh-huh. So,
Now we keep them cleaned up and looking nice for the tours.
yeah,
You know, the visitors, they like to see them. They are nice to see.
I think they're
Oh.
a beautiful piece of work. What kind of engines are they again? They're
Kelvin diesel,
Kelvin diesel,
44 horse.
44 horse. I'll just take a closer look at them. Eh?
Actually a marine engine.
The-
A lot of these fitted to fishing boats.
Uh-huh. So is that two-cylinder engines, are they?
2 cylinders.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like to keep it kind of.
Mm-hmm. James Dove, the company, Engineer Contractors Edinburgh, 1903. The same company made the light machinery, the reflectors and...
No, the lenses are made by Chance. The machine up the stair is made by Dove, and that's the same company. And the lens, that's made by Chance of Birmingham.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. And
And then the two was Marek here.
uh-huh. So, are these companies still in the go today? No. I just wonder who makes lenses today for the...
Well, you see, Pilkington's took over all the glasswork, so I don't know if you can get lenses like that nowadays.
No.
Don't know if you can.
So the actual lens itself is 1902, is it?
1902 now.
Uh-huh. It's never been replaced? No. It's amazing. Aye. So if it's the future for yourself and for the rest of the people who works here?
Well, when the place shuts down, we move on to any other lighthouses that's left open. There's still ones left open in various parts of the country, so we'll move on to them.
Could that be just over Scotland or over England as well?
Scotland, Isle of Man.
Scotland and Isle of Man. Uh-huh.
And the reason the Isle of Man is brought into the Scotland part of it is that the Isle of Man used to be part of the Duke of Argyll's estate.
Ah, yes, of course. Aye.
So that's why England and I lay claim to that one. And then the Irish Lights, they're a separate board as well. So that's us. Orkney, Shetland, Hebrides, Scotland, Isle of Man.
So the thing is, you've actually got to be prepared just to go anywhere. You've
Oh,
no
yeah.
choice at all,
No,
have you? It's
very
just
little.
no. I see.
You're just told you get a transfer and you're on your way. You usually get 3-4 years at a station,
Yeah.
sometimes longer. I mean, I was 7 years at Cape Wrath. It's normally 3 to 4 years at a station and you get it. Now the reason for that was you had shore stations, you had rock stations, you had island stations, you had stations that were in the community and stations that were isolated. So to give everybody a sort of fair crack of whip, as you might say, that's why they moved you around.
Right.
So that you weren't stuck in the wilds for all your days. To give you, you got a shore station and a rock station, and maybe a station in civilization, then you'd get one remote, and then sort of gave you, taking into account schools and such like,
Yes,
the
of course.
family, of course.
Right.
But on the whole, that was the general idea.
So there's a possibility you might get a transfer to a remote station this time, would it be?
Well, you see, there's very little stations left now. There's still a few, but I've just done 12 years on rock stations, so I shouldn't get another one. Hopefully not.
No.
This is our spares covered, and so you carry everything that's needed to do.
Oh, I see. So you're engineers as well. I mean, you can actually fit valves and valve springs.
Yes, if
Yes.
necessary.
Yes,
if necessary.
Uh-huh.
And the likes of this too, you see, if we have a breakdown and you call in one of the engineers, he doesn't have to come up with a heap of spares.
Aye.
Because the stuff's here, he can come and diagnose what it is, and the stuff's there to repair it.
And you've got a
But
ton.
at some of the remoter stations, we've replaced sounder heads and such like.
I see you've got a tunnel here as well.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's amusing too.
Bridle lathe. That's
Oh, I
the bed
see.
of it. This is the treadle here, and the chuck, and the gears.
Oh, yeah.
It's it all there in bits. That's a museum piece, that.
I would imagine that. So how old would that be?
Oh, I've no idea. Oh, that'll
No.
be dating away back. And so that must go. One time that was the lathe they had at the station, and then they introduced the electric ones.
Right.
They became the pump. 1903 and the pump in there was in.
Is that right?
It's almost strong, leave one down. Everything's proper.
And this is this gas lamps as well? It's here. And what's that?
Oh no, this is your, for giving you a petrol injection into your cylinders for starting your engines.
Oh, I see.
The petrol start, you had the petrol in the carburetor here, and then you had a couple of injections straight into the cylinder head. It vaporised your petrol onto the cylinder head, and then press the start.
For this engines?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. Oh, though they're diesel, they are actually petrol
Petrol
start.
start diesel engines.
Gosh.
A lot of people are puzzled when you say
I'm
engines,
puzzled.
the diesel engines, and you see the plug sticking out the top.
Aye, that's right, and there's a lot of plugs. So, is the marine engines on the boats that they've got then start the same way? Or,
At one time they used to, but they're all straight, well they're straight diesel start now. And that was your £25. And this here was your recording your hours that you blew.
Ah, I see.
When you started your foghorn, the pen came out and scratched on every blast. And then when you shut off, it went back in again. And it left you a trace then of the time you had the foghorn sounding.
Aye, right. And of course, this is the living quarters.
Yes.
That's where you live yourself over there, is it?
Yes, now that building and this building here, they went up in 1902 or 1903 when the fog signal went. This one here was built in 1820 when the tower was started.
Oh, I see.
Originally when they took over the castle first, the castle actually extended farther out into the courtyard. That
It was built in 1802, was it?
1820,
1820.
along with the tower.
Along with the tower
The
for
new
the
tower,
lighthouse.
yes.
Ah, right, okay.
And then that building and the engine room here was built in 1902
1902 for the
fog signal.
foghorn. So, previous to the building of the married quarters here, where did the keepers live? Inside the building here?
Well, as I was saying, the castle was extended farther out into the courtyard,
Oh, I see.
and the keeper lived in there. The light was just stuck on top of the castle roof, and that's how it operated for a start.
So they must
From
have.
about 1786 up till 1820, that's how it operated.
So in 1820, they must have demolished a certain section of the castle, did they?
Demolished that bit that was in the courtyard.
Ah, I see.
And built
And built this. Aye, right.
Now, why they didn't demolish the whole thing, I mean, I don't know. But they demolished that part and built the tower right up through the castle. Windows.
Oh,
The
yes.
original staircase went
Aye.
up this corner.
Aye, when it was a castle tower. And of course, this one had actually been placed in, I suppose, in 1820 or something? Somewhere thereabout.
Yes, oh yes. The other part of the castle came, so.
So it came out this way,
Come out
towards
this
us.
way, yes.
You don't know how large that section was, no?
No. There's an old woodcut up in the museum that shows you from a distance what like it was. In fact, I think it's in George Day's book. That'd be an 1820 building,
1820 here.